Not only in Python, but in programming in general, the concept of type conversion is very common and also very important. So today we're going to discuss about it in Python. Now, without any waste of time, if you go inside your Termux and your Python interpreter, you can just do str, which is the short for string, and Python recognizes this word as it's a representation of the string word. Okay, you cannot type a complete thing like this and expect Python to understand it. It won't. But if you type something like this, it knows that you're referring to string. And if you do enter, it's going to tell you it's in a class of string. And so to integer, you do int. And so to float and bool, you do float instead of floating point number like that. You can just do float and it'll tell you it's in the class of float. And so to bool, I want to type them all. There we go. So these are the basic data types or primitive data types in Python, and we're going to do type conversion on them. We're going to convert one type into another type right now. So let's start with string to integer. Okay, let's do it right now. It's really easy. All you have to do, let's declare a variable first. Say age equals, instead of making this an integer, we can make it a string and do something like this. So now age is a type of string. We can verify that by doing this. The type of age, age is going to tell us age is a string, right? So there we go. Now if you want to use age as a number, an integer, for example, you're going to do something like age, and you increment it by 1. For example, in someone's birthday, you can add their age by 1, increment their age by 1. So this cannot be done on this age because age is now a string. So you're gonna have to convert it to an integer, right? So to do that, all you gotta do is wrap it inside the int type. So for example, let's write age again and we set it to a value of int and we do age. So there we go. Here, if you do enter, now you've changed the type of age from string to integer. Now if you check the type of age, it's going to tell you now it's an integer. So you can do age plus equals 1 and then print, say age. If you do that, it's going to tell you now age is 11. But if you do it while the age is still a string, it's not going to work. Okay, it's going to throw an error. That's how you can convert an integer to string or string to integer. You just wrap them inside the str or int functions. So what about float? It's kind of the same. You've guessed it already. It's the same. For example, if I do age and you set it to float and you give it the age variable, now age is a floating point number. Now if you print age, you're gonna see 11.0, right? Why would you make something a float? Well, let me give you an example. There are times that you might have seen on the internet, especially in YouTube, in tutorials, that people are converting Fahrenheit to Celsius. This is a very common thing in programming in general. So while doing that, you might want to collect input from users to to know which one you're converting and how much of it you're converting. Oftentimes those kind of calculations comes with decimal points, so that's the point of doing all of these this way. Let's move on to bool right now, boolean. Okay, with boolean, let's do something a little bit different. Let's say print a value, but we can say bool and then you do 5. So if you print this value, it'll tell you that this 5 is true. Because of what? Yeah, because it's not 0. But if you do print this value and then you assign uh, 0, it's going to tell you that this is false. So this is how true or false works. Now let's convert a boolean value into a string. Okay, that'll maybe help you understand a little bit. So let's do is online now is true, right? So if I do uh, type of is online, it's gonna tell me that this is a boolean value, is online. Yeah, this is in the class of bool. Now let's make it a string. It's easy, right? We can just do is online and then we set it to str and then we say now this one is going to make it a string. Here we go. So if you print the type of is online right now, it's gonna tell you that this is a string. So see ya.